Unit 1. How do timelines help us learn about the past? We use timelines to learn about history. On a timeline, we can see what year things are from and learn how old things are. This gold belt was made around the year 400. A rich Roman wore this belt. This very old helmet was made for a king around the year 600. People found it in 1939 in a boat under the ground. In 1220, a king used this beautiful sword to fight. Can you see the birds on it? In 1173, people started building the Tower of Pisa. They finished building it in 1372, but they didn't build it very well. It looks like it could fall. Around 1653, people finished building the Taj Mahal. Shah Jahan built it to remember his wife. You can see it in India today. In 1870, this very small crown was made for a famous queen. Prince William gave this ring to Kate Middleton in 2010. They married in 2011. We can learn a lot about the past using timelines. Let's find out more. Unit 2. How can we learn about places? There are different ways we can learn about places. We can use maps, and we can use satellite images. They use different technology. Here are some people making a map. And this is a satellite. Maps are pictures that show different places. We can use maps to learn about a city, a country, a continent, or the whole world. Some maps only show the streets in a city centre. They help us find places like museums and restaurants. Some maps only show mountains and rivers. They help us learn about the countryside. We can also use satellite images to learn about places. There are thousands of satellites in space. Satellites take photos of the Earth. Satellite images show everything that is in a place at the time the satellite takes the photo. We can see places at night and in the day. We can see places in summer and winter. We can even see the weather. There's a big storm in this satellite image. We can learn about places with maps and satellite images. Let's find out more. Unit 3. How do floods happen? Floods happen when there's too much water and the water goes over the land. Floods can happen in different ways. Some floods can happen slowly. There's a lot of water in ice and snow. When the snow and ice melts, the water can go into the rivers and flood the land below. Some floods can happen quickly. They can happen when there's a lot of rain. And when there's too much water in a river, the water goes over the riverbanks. When there are strong winds, big waves can come in from the sea. The waves can go over the sea walls and flood the land. Sometimes floods can help plants and animals because they bring water to dry habitats. But often, floods are dangerous for people and animals. They can hurt habitats, and people have to leave their homes. Floods can happen in different ways. Let's find out more. Unit 4. How many types of transport do you know? There are lots of different ways to travel. We can travel in the air, on water, and on land. Many of the ways we travel can be bad for the environment. This is because they use fuel to help them move. Cars, lorries, boats, and planes all use fuel, and this fuel can cause pollution, which is unhealthy for humans and bad for the environment. But there are lots of ways to travel that aren't bad for the environment. These are eco-friendly ways to travel. Some types of transport don't need any fuel. And they're healthier for us too. We can walk, or we can travel by bike or scooter. We can also use types of transport that use eco-friendly fuel. Today, there are electric buses and electric cars on the roads. There are electric scooters, electric bikes, and electric trains too. We can make electricity in eco-friendly ways. Here are some of them. There are lots of different ways to travel. Let's find out more. Unit 5. How can we make sketches of people? We can make sketches of people in different ways. We can use different materials to make sketches. We can use pencils, pens, crayons, and charcoal to make sketches. We can use different colored paper. We can use black pencil on white paper and white pencil on black paper. We use different kinds of lines to make a sketch. Light lines, dark lines, curved lines, straight lines, and shading. We can make sketches anywhere. Some artists make sketches in a studio. They draw the person sitting in front of them. This artist is drawing their friend in a cafe. She's using a red crayon on white paper. Some artists work on the street. And some artists work at the police station. Today, artists don't need any pencils or paper to make a sketch. They can use a computer. We can make sketches of people in different ways. Let's find out more. Unit 6. What were dinosaurs like? The dinosaurs lived on Earth millions of years ago. There were lots of different types of dinosaurs. A person who studies dinosaurs is called a paleontologist. They learn about the dinosaurs from their footprints, teeth, eggs, and bones. Today, we can see the skeletons of dinosaurs in museums. From the bones and the teeth, we can learn what the dinosaurs looked like and what they ate. Some dinosaurs were very big. The Brachiosaurus was about 30 meters long. The Tyrannosaurus was about 6 meters tall. It had a big head and 2 small arms. It had very sharp teeth because it ate other dinosaurs. It was a carnivore. The Stegosaurus moved on 4 legs. Its head was small and it ate plants. It was a herbivore. Some dinosaurs looked a bit like birds. The Velociraptor had feathers. The Oviraptor had a beak. It was an omnivore. It ate meat and plants. There were lots of different types of dinosaurs. Let's find out more. Unit 7. How do we play instruments? There are different kinds of instruments, and musicians play them in different ways. There are lots of different wind instruments. Recorders, trumpets, trombones, and saxophones are wind instruments. Musicians blow into wind instruments. There are string instruments. Guitars, harps, and violins are string instruments. Musicians can pluck instruments like a harp and a guitar. They can use a bow to play instruments like a violin. There are percussion instruments, triangles, tambourines, and drums are percussion instruments. Musicians hit triangles and drums. They can hit or shake tambourines. The piano is an unusual instrument. There are strings inside a piano. Musicians hit the black and white keys with their fingers. These keys then hit the strings in the piano. So the piano is a percussion instrument and a string instrument. We play different kinds of instruments in different ways. Let's find out more. Unit 8. What can we find in space? We can find lots of amazing things in space. Space is full of planets and stars. There are so many stars, we can't count them. The Sun is a big, hot star. The Earth orbits the Sun every 365 days. All living things on Earth need the Sun because the Sun gives us light and heat. Asteroids are space rocks. Some asteroids are very big. Asteroids can orbit planets or the Sun. Sometimes they fall to Earth. An asteroid landed here a long time ago. There are lots of satellites in space. The biggest satellite is the International Space Station. There are astronauts living and working on the space station. Sometimes they have to go outside on a spacewalk. The view of planet Earth is amazing. The Moon orbits Earth every 27.3 days. We can see the Moon because of the light from the Sun. Planet Mars is more than 50 million kilometers from Earth. There's water on Mars, so astronauts think they could find life on the planet one day. There are lots of interesting things in space. Let's find out more. Unit 9. How can we measure camping equipment? When we go camping, we sometimes need to know how many people can sleep in a tent, how heavy our backpack is, or how much water we have. We can measure these things in different ways. When we want to know how heavy something is, we use scales. We measure in grams and kilograms. 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. This sleeping bag is only 950 grams. This backpack is 15 kilograms. We use a tape measure to find out how long, how wide, and how high something is. We measure in centimeters and meters. 1 meter is the same as 100 centimeters. This tent is for 2 people. It's 250 centimeters long, 160 centimeters wide, and 100 centimeters high. This tent is for 1 person. It's only 1 meter wide. This tent is for a family. It's 2 meters high. When we want to know how much water we have, we can use a measuring jug. We can measure water in milliliters and liters. 1 liter is the same as 1,000 milliliters. This bottle can carry 500 milliliters of water. This bottle can carry 1 liter of tea. We can measure camping equipment in different ways. Let's find out more.